are now in the new area. Look at this column here. Every piece is about 20 tons. Came on a truck through here and was lifted up here on site. As I said, there are 3 of them. There are 4 of them. 3 here and 1 over there. Let's go down this street. This here is Deutsche Straße. You can tell your friends when they come out from there or later today. We're standing here. The inspiration for the buildings here are from some places in Germany and Alsace in France. We wanted to give it this theme due to the idea to have a German Bierstube, Biergarten. This was an idea from the beginning, and I have a lot of friends at the Oktoberfest. I've been there more than 20 times. And through a friend owning the Wilhelmborg Riesenrad, I got the connection with this company, Plätschacher, in Dasing, outside München. And we visited them and said, can you build something like this for us to get it genuine? And they said yes. And then we said, well, you have to consider that there will be roller coaster columns going through the buildings. And I love companies that say, okay, we'll do that, we'll fix it. It's not like, oh no, that won't work. So they built it outside Munich. It came here with 11 trucks. And guys from the factory, they built it up, and here it is. I would say the best or the most genuine beer garden or Bierstube north of Munich. And definitely, if a beer garden intertwined with a B&M roller coaster, with columns inside. I'll show you soon. So this is a special place, definitely, and they were fantastic to work with. So as you can see, everything is genuine, and how they have made the supports, the woodwork, and everything fit like a glove. So every little part, it was typical German. Every little part had a number on the drawings.
It's the best combination ever. It's a B&M and beer.
Yes.
Beer and
Here is one of the points. We built this building according to the drawings, but when we did the test with a safety envelope, you see that we had to cut off this corner here, up here on the roof. So it's very, very close.
That's a real food chopper. That's a real food chopper.
Yeah. We want you to add 200 millimeter since we have such a complicated environment. And I think that's why, maybe some guy with overlength.
Okay, yeah, he is overlength.
Yes, but there is also a limitation due to the lap bars. The safety, I mean, you can't get if you're too tall, you won't fit in. We don't want to let people ride that will sit like this because they are so long. It's not good for your back, even though this is very soft and nice. Of course, difficult to do all this so close to the water and to get all the material out. You can imagine 3,500 trucks only to get rid of the rocks that we blasted out through that little hole there. So yeah, it was when we did the basement, we start blasting the rock and excavating. And when we came about the mid of the pit, then they started doing the concrete works in one end and blasting the rock in the other end. So it was really extremely, I would say, fast work. Maybe the cities and the road builders in the world should learn. We started doing this in Blasting the Rock in, I think, October, and on the 20th of April we opened a temporary park on top of the concrete deck that had been done, because the coaster wasn't finished. So that was including games, fast food, and a snake, the black mamba from Funtime. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we thought this is a great ride. It's something very special.
It is.
Yes. So with the counterweights, it was 120 tons standing on top of the concrete deck. But we had to reinforce certain parts. But it's just fantastic that it was possible. That is now in Sommarland, the snake. That column and the beer garden. And the beer garden was built before that column was hauled in. And these big columns, they have a foundation of 6 by 6 by 6 meters, reinforced concrete. And that's not easy due to water and everything. There was a lot of pile driving involved.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is it a problem with the proximity of the water?
Yes.
Yes, of course.
We had to put these steel planks to protect it from water.
Oh, okay.
Before we could pour the concrete. And there are a lot of piles, and they are not only piles, they are drilled into the rock to be able to take forces, both kinds of forces, lifting and whatever you say. So let's have a quick look inside beer garden. We can see how tight everything is.
And all men on.
You can just step in one by one or two by one.
This is a backstage area?
Yeah. These columns here were erected, not the big one, but those were erected before the guys came to erect the building. So they erected the building around it.
This area of the park used to be the shipyard. I used to have a lot of companies that work for the Navy or with sea things, like, you know, making rope, tar, machinery, all that. And with that moved out, that's when Gröna Lund moved in. So they got a small piece of land just where the breakdowns is, where we put the most modern ride that they had in that time, namely an auto scooter, bumper cars at that time. Then in 1928 we got this part of the park, and we built this stage, the main stage. It's been here since 1928. And we also built the restaurant over there. I have my office on the upper floor. And that was the first time that Gröna Lund had any feeling of the seafront. But you could sit on the restaurant and watch out over the sea. Otherwise it was just building surrounding the park. You couldn't see the water at all. In 1928, when we built this stage, we used to have a small stage where the flying elephants are, but it was moved away in like 2008, I think it was moved away. So this was the main stage. In the beginning, there was a lot of variety artists, you know, jugglers, acrobats and those kind of things, and also opera stars singing here. That was the big thing. 10,000 people here watching an opera star sing here. And then in the 50s it came the jazz bands, and in the 60s came the pop music, Paul Anka, Cliff Richard and the Shadows and so on. And in the 70s, when I was a youngster, there were all the British bands, Uriah Heep and Status Quo, Sweet, you know, all those kind of bands. And then we moved on. So this was the main stage here in Stockholm. It was the only stage that could take so many, a big audience. But the other things were just clubs. So we moved on. We have like, I think it's like 50 concerts each season. So John Legend is coming, Dua Lipa was here. What else was it? A lot of Swedish artists are world famous in Sweden. And
We know Jordan.
yeah, I saw CC Top here. I saw Bob Marley here in 1980. He was here 4 times, and the 4th time it was 32,000 people here in the park. I was standing about over there where the entrance to the Wild Mud is. It was horrible. People was clinging everywhere. They put plastic on the trees so they couldn't climb the trees. There were people that had the Ferris wheel standing there. People climbed up in the Ferris wheel. It was. I mean, it's that kind of concept. You can walk around on kryddhyllan there. You can see a guy sitting there drinking into his 3rd pint of beer, and you can hear him say, "Oh, I remember Bob Marley." So each audience has their prime artist to see. And I thought that I should show you a bit of a treat. It's something that the ordinary people never get to see. I thought that you could take a look behind the main stage. Because I put up like 600 photos of artists who have performed here on the stage from 1928 up until last year. And it's a 3-story building. It's very narrow, but I think we squeeze in and we can take a look at that. Those who want to take a peek view at the backstage can follow me.
Elton John, 1971 hier.
Ui, da waren wir noch jung.
Ja, aber wirklich. 2014.
Der ist ganz besonders.
Der ist schwierig zu kriegen.
Hey, guck mal, die sind hier auch auf Fuß gewesen. Ich muss kissen.
Aber noch was hier, ja.
Ich habe übrigens das Tannhaus, das von 1917. So ist das Konzept. Du musst ein Stückchen zurücknehmen, dann. Ja. Am besten noch weil du quer nehmen, weil das Bild ist ja auch quer.
Ach, jetzt hör doch mal auf!
Ja, nein, damit du gerade hast.
Ja, ist doch gut. Ich habe den ganzen Verkehr hier auf.
Könntest du vielleicht mal hier nicht noch
Wir müssen sich bewegen, bitte.
Laufen.
Hier ist auch noch Fotos von das
Kann man dann aufnehmen.
I can see the people on the tennis wheel.
Wer war hier?
Achso, ja.
Yes.
Und hier auch?
Ja.
Oh, die Frau hier.
You should put this connection on.
Is
it around or maybe
It's the old exhibition.
Yeah, the modern photos, we have a company who take the photos. Commission. It's our photos.
Guck mal, vielleicht sind noch drin. Ja, das glaube ich nicht, dass die da noch drin sind.
Das sind Weltstars in Schweden.
Okay.
Weltstars in Schweden.
Ja, die brauchen sehr jung aus, die beiden.
Norwegian Queens. Ja, wir sind daran dann jetzt ja.
Aber los, die sind aber sehr...
Keine Bilder von der Wand.
Wollen wir mal raufgucken?
Achso, wir lassen jetzt eine Kabine.
Kuschenklo. Der Bob hat das meiste Lecker wie kann. Ja, genau, da ja, nicht so bestimmt hängen dann da unten. Oh. Wir reißen die Bilder, die wollen da jetzt.
So, Gegenverkehr.
Gegenverkehr. Rechtes Feierabend.
Gleich Äpfel, ja.
Ich will halt den Verkehr auf den weiter.
Es gibt hier nichts zu sehen.
Actually, I've been working with the history to put out the history online. I think I have like 4,600 artists to perform here from 1883 to 2020, and 137 rides at Amusement Park. A lot of them obviously was just in for the season because we rented them from Ville, for instance, and we're here but for a summer or for a year. But people in Stockholm, they expect a new ride each year. So in the days that we had bad economy, what we did do, we just moved the rides. Oh, let's move this ride here. It's gonna feel like new.
How come you rented Thriller once?
Well, Peter has been on the Thriller. Everybody loves Thriller, and he knows the group family, and well, it was a water festival at that time in Stockholm, so that's part of what because we wanted to be part of the water festival. It used to be great fireworks outside in those days when fireworks still was true. They're not the true nowadays. Tåget, the blue train here. In 1932 we got a dark ride, an American dark ride called the Horror Express. And I've been searching and talking to people in the United States. I knew it was a dark ride. I have 1 or 2 photos of ride from the outside. I don't know who the manufacturer was. And it was burned down in 1935 because the wooden coaster was standing over here. So half of the wooden coaster burned down and the dark ride was totally demolished. So after that we rebuilt the wooden coaster, and then we built this blue train, which we built by ourselves. We had an engineer called Ture Engman who worked in Gröna Park in Berlin for many years, and he was the guy who did the effects in the 30s. The blue train was here, and then they thought, oh, we're going to change, we're going to do something else, and I think it was something like ski lift. So it was like you sitting on a ski lift. I was like 7 or 8 years old, totally falling around. We took back the blue train and then after we thought that, oh, we have to do something more. We changed the effects every time. So we got those new trains. We wanted there are more people sitting in there, 4 people sitting in there. The old one that had 2 people. So expand the capacity. Have you been on the blue train this year? Yeah. Have you felt the effects in the pick in the back, blowing on the pick in the back is always before you comes out in this curve here, so you can stand here and see people sitting going like this. It's really funny. In order to build Wildfire in 2011, we had to remove the blue train. So twisted. So we removed it because it was wooden. It was very, very hazardous for fire. So we rebuilt it, and now it's perfectly safe to new standards. So we rebuilt it, but we kept the sign, kept some of the things that are inside, some of the effects inside the blue train, but we changed some of the effects every year. And you can see here, you know, it's a very narrow space, this part. And if you watch over here, you can see the pillars from Tuscan and Jetline and Twister. They are so thin, sometimes you can just put in a table between them. There's so little space between all this. So, as I told you before, it has very, very limited access to big drives. Have you been on Icaros? Yeah. That drives and it's impossible to build it. You want to stand on Peter, you wanted to buy Icaros, it's impossible. But how about we build the bridge over here? And stand Icaros on top of it. Yes, we can do it. It's the same as with Monster. You saw those big pillars, the big beams that Peter Ulfbäck showed you. There are 3 of those big ones, and I think that each of these 3 replaces 3 of the small ones. Otherwise, it would have been like a forest of steel pillars. No one could walk around it. So let's walk down. Stockholm is a very small city.
Compared to what?
Compared to a lot of other cities, especially if you're a capital. The posh part of town, Östermalm, is over there. Strandvägen used to be royal grounds, that's where the rich people live. Where your work was, that's Södermalm, that's where all the workers used to live. But now it's the hip part of the city, the small restaurants and bars and so on, and record stores and everything. And over there is, behind on the small island here, is the old town where Gamla stan, yes, Hansa city. And where the castle is as well. Well, it looks like most medieval cities that you have in Germany here. But it's stone houses all over. When people go here, they take the ferry or they take the tram out here. It's not many cars going out here, and since we are building an amusement park on the parking lot, I encourage you not to take the car over here next time. As you can see, the Icaros is built like on a bridge between Jetline and the fun house. The fun house is German from the beginning. You know how I can see my tendency to talk about Germany. The fun house was German. It came in 1917. Juxthaus, I think it was called. It was where the teacups ride are. And they then moved it over the street, Lilla Allmänna Gränd, over where we built the bridges now. Maybe 40 meters up there. And they moved it another time here. In the stairs, you can see, Jacob's Ladder was called, put in during the 20s. And then in 1985, there was a fire, electricity problem in the house. So the whole building burned down. We have had several fires, and that's what we fear most in the park is fires. So the whole of the funhouse burnt down, nothing left. And they didn't have any drawings of the house. I found drawings in the archives now, but they have two carpenters who worked here in 1945 and put in the flying carpet, you know. Did you go on the funhouse? Did you go out with the flying carpet? Yeah. Oh, okay. So they put in that they have memory, so they helped the architect to rebuild the house. But now it's counterwise, clockwise, and they changed their direction on the house. But every room is taken back from the original. And it took 2 years to rebuild the house, and we had to borrow money from the city. Every party in the city was for letting us lend the money. It was like, I think it was 2 million crowns, except for one. And they are not in the council anymore. And we got a letter that said, oh, I heard that the fun house burnt down and it's gonna cost a lot of money for that. So here is 5 crowns, so you can buy some nails and some wooden planks. A 5-year-old kid wrote to the president of the park at that time. It's quite a touching story.
Sweet.
As I told you, this is a traditional park, not a theme park. But when we removed all the houses and all the rides and the auto scooter building from 1939, we only kept the Tyroler restaurant. Johan, Matthias and Peter had this thing about Monster, that they wanted to have the New York theme. So that's why you look at the signs on the station that Gröna Lund, like an American subway station. And every sign here is in English. And I put up the music, the fake music store. It's actually a live music store called Hellstone, which is on the south side. They let us they lended a lot of instruments to us. And also it's going to be funny there. It's a TV show in German television set. I bought an auction and we put in a flat screen in it and a Raspberry Pi computer, and we have a lot of photos showing that. Some of the photos you saw behind the stage and some movie clips from the beginning now. So the theming here is that. And I also told some of you about the theming inside Birgarten, that they had this idea when Ullis and I, a friend of mine, Ligger, we were doing the theming for the walls, all the photos that are inside there. We said, we're not at Gröna Lund anymore, we are in New York. And they had this story, there was a guy called Fritz who emigrated from Germany to Coney Island, and he built a beer factory, and his 2 kids built a beer garden. So when we enter the beer garden, we are in Fritz's family. So we found an old photo we bought on an auction of Fritz on the upper wall, and on the sides there's his family and friends. A lot of photos are taken from our archives. There's artists who performed on the stage here. There's a photo of my mum as a 19-year-old. So there's a lot of strange things there. So you can see some old ride photos over there as well from Grönalund if you go in there.